In today's video, I'm giving you a bit of a recap on the Australian dollar and having a look at what's going on with earnings season this week and the news ahead for this week that I think is important. Hello and welcome to another ACY Securities Market Update. My name is Alistair Schultz and I'm going to be your host through today's trading journey. Over the week, last week, we saw a number of different events going on. However, it hasn't had too much impact on the Australian dollar. The chart I have up behind me right now is the Australian dollar on an hourly chart. Now you can see here it's pretty sideways. It's been up, it's been a little bit down, but overall it's sitting in this neat, tidy range that's probably a little bit difficult for some trading. Now what I've found from last week is that a lot of the news that we're actually seeing is really related more to the Fed action than rather what's happening here in Australia. We do know that we've got some unanticipated rates of coronavirus occurring, but those numbers are starting to come back down, particularly in Victoria. Now, obviously, the US situation is very, very different around that, but nonetheless, their impacts seem to be having an impact on us as well, particularly with thoughts towards virus care and packaging that's going around at the moment. Now, everything else on the chart that you can see here, there's been a little bit of talk from Governor Lowe, been a little bit of talk from some places in Europe, but on the whole, it's mostly been that Fed action. Now, if you do want to have a bit of a closer inspection, pause the screen now. We'll throw the chart up for you to have a look, and you can definitely Google some of the key points that I've put up on here for you. Now, moving on to the virus update that I've got for today, we've got more than 21 million cases. In fact, we're 21,598,000. So we have an absolutely astronomical amount of people that have coronavirus around the world or have at least recovered from it as well. In total, there's now 773,000 deaths. In Australia, we've seen our biggest rate of 25 deaths in a single day, just reported as of this morning. So those numbers are climbing up. However, the case numbers in Australia are falling, which could be a good, interesting indicator, but always a good thing to hear when we've got less cases than more. Now, looking at what's happened with the key virus notes that I've seen over the weekend. New Zealand has delayed their national election because of the resurgence that they've found in Auckland. We've also got US fatalities exceeding 1,000 deaths a day for 5 consecutive days. There's some pretty big numbers there. We've also had obviously Victoria and Australia situation here, but we've also got the extension of the state of emergency till at least mid-September. Italy and Spain have started to close nightclubs again, indicating that they also have a resurgence of virus. South Korea is warning of another mass infection to come, and Malaysia has noted that there's been some level of mutation in the virus that they have there, and that it might be 10 times more infectious than the existing testing that we've got. This also brings up questions and probability for when it comes to the vaccine itself. If we have a problem with a vaccine or we do get a mutation, then perhaps the vaccine will not be as effective as we first hoped. Now, looking at things that have also been said throughout the week by Trump, and this is kind of going on my picture of the list of dumb things to say when you're president. Trump has now said that he may ask for the resignation of his entire cabinet if he's re-elected. That's like doing political suicide to me, but regardless of the fact, if we were to look back at his presidency, if he was to remove his entire cabinet, he should probably remove himself as well from that, because without his cabinet, he's not really a president. So, keeping an eye on what happens there. I know I don't usually get political, but sometimes this guy just makes it too easy to take out something funny from what he says. Now, having a look at earnings season this week, we do have a number of different events. Alibaba, JD.com, Walmart, Home Depot, BHP Group, Nvidia, Qantas, BlueScope Steel, JB Hi-Fi, and Bendigo are all today. So we will have to keep an eye on that. There are a number of other ones coming up this week. We've got Commonwealth Bank and a few other banking entities that will be on the spectrum. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what's happening with earnings season, particularly this week for Australian listed stocks. Obviously, the ones out of the US are going to be following suit as well. Now, for the news ahead of this week, Australian monetary policy minutes on Tuesday. OPEC meetings are going to be tentative and all day on Wednesday and Thursday. So keep an eye on what's happening around those, especially if you do trade oil. We know that we might be expecting to see a further cut to what's happening, but that's probably a little bit too early to say an absolute guarantee at this stage. We've also got ADP non-farm payroll for Canada later on in the week, and of course, French and German PMI figures coming out very late in the week on Friday, late at night. Now, if there's anything from today's video you want to get in contact with me about, or any of my other videos, feel free to hit me up on any of my socials, but of course, the easiest one is going to be talktoal@acy.com, or Twitter even. That's another place that I'm also active there as well. Now, if there's anything that you would like to get in contact, don't hesitate. I'm happy to answer all questions. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video so you can get more great content from me and ACY Securities in the future. Have a great trading day ahead.